Köln-Riel. Sie haben nun die Möglichkeit, sich direkt mit Ihrem passenden Ansprechpartner verbinden zu lassen. Bitte drücken Sie die 1 für die Rezeption oder die 2 für unsere Tagungsreservierung.
Die Jungendherberge Köln-Riel. Ich spreche mit Kevin Stelter. Schönen guten Tag.
Yeah, guten Tag. Can you speak English?
Yes, I do. How can I help you?
Yeah, hi. I'm a member of the youth hostel Germany, the Jungendherbergede. I stayed at your hostel a couple of months ago.
Alright.
And whilst I was at your youth hostel, I went to an internet cafe and I was attacked by an Arabic man with a baseball bat, and I had to stay 3 days in St. Antonios because of concussion. When I came back and I spoke to your staff, there was a Frau literally screaming at me at reception because I wanted to talk to the manager about leaving. And then I ended up speaking to several of your staff who all ended up screaming at me, saying we don't know what's going on. I then got put in a different room, and I was with a young gentleman from Germany, and we were put in with a guy who was clearly psychotic, wanting to fight both of us. And we went down to reception. Your reception said, yes, he's known to our staff. And then once I left, I said, look, this is really bad. I spent a lot of money in different youth hostels with, around Germany with yourselves because I'm a member. And I was promised, well, the whole time that I was in your youth hostel in Koln, I was refused access to the manager. And then because I was told he's in Amsterdam partying or something. And then I got an email from him saying, thanks for, so no refund or anything like that. The response I got was, thank you very much for bringing that violence to our attention. Any future customers who come to our hostel will not be subjected to that. I hope you understand. Bye. That response is not good enough. What I was subjected to was horrendous.
Alright, so how can I help you now?
Well, is the manager there?
No, he's not.
So is there someone who is of a senior, who's the assistant manager?
She's here, but I don't know how she can help you or anybody.
Yes, I know, but obviously there's
this... We talked about that a lot. I was here the whole time you spent...
So you know who I am?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, and well, I also know that my colleague who you said told you that this guy who was with you on the room would be known to us. That was a misunderstanding. What we tried to tell you, he was like a regular customer of ours, and we were just told, like from our shift the evening before, that he made some problems that night. That was what she meant.
Okay, but you have to remember is I don't work for your hostel, right? I'm only going by what I was told. My point is that as soon as I came back from San Antonio's hospital where they diagnosed me with a concussion, obviously I'm not going to be feeling very well, correct? Yeah. So the first person I spoke to was the assistant manager in your hostel, and she seemed to find it hilarious to the point I said, look, if you're not gonna help me, because all I wanted to do was speak to the manager about leaving, because I'll be honest, I didn't feel safe. The police report and everything was made. It was a severe assault. The young gentleman that I was with in that Jungendherbergede hostel left and went home as well. My point is obviously the concussion I received in that internet cafe has nothing to do with you. But the problem is that when I first went in the room, I came and told the staff, the whole room was clean other than my bed, who had wiped snot on my bed and on my wall. And I said, look, that's obviously not very nice. I don't know why it's only on my bed. Then that night that old gentleman came in, and he was completely crazy, and both myself and a kind young gentleman, German guy, came down and said, we don't feel comfortable in this room whatsoever.
Yeah, but you got another room, right?
Correct. But then what happened is then I obviously got the concussion. I didn't stay in your hostel. I stayed in the hospital. I came back, and my point is that all I did was I came to reception, and I spoke to the assistant manager. She's a girl quite a younger girl, and she was practically screaming at me saying I'm lying, I'm not telling the truth, we don't know who the gentleman is. And I just said, look, I can't get in a screaming match with you. I have a concussion. I should be lying down. So then I went to another manager, and this assistant manager started following me around reception saying, don't talk to him, don't do this. And I virtually said, look, whenever the manager is available, I'm here for another couple of days. Is it possible I can talk to him? Sure, no problem. I said, you know what room I'm in? Yes, yes, yes. No one talked to me until the very last day when I left. And one of the managers came up to me and said, yeah, really sorry about everything that's happened to you. As a gesture of goodwill, would you like a cup of tea? I mean, really? And they still promised that the manager would call me back. He never called me back and sent a generic email that basically didn't reference anything that I went through. All it said was, thanks for telling us, we'll make sure it doesn't happen to anyone else. That's horrendous customer service. One, where I was placed was dirty. You obviously do you remember you came and changed the bed sheets? And then obviously that psycho guy. Then I have staff screaming at me. Then as a kind of a mocking, yeah, as you're leaving, we'll offer you a cup of tea, which I didn't take. And then all I was asking for was really to talk to the manager, because I'd never had that kind of treatment in any other youth hostel. And I got a really bad email from him about a month ago saying, yeah, sorry, I was in Amsterdam, I couldn't connect with you. Didn't reference one thing that happened to me in his hostel, but said, you know, we'll make sure it doesn't happen to anyone else. That's not good enough.
Well, but that's the answer you got from our manager, and I can't change anything about that.
Right. So I'm asking. So how?
Our manager cannot get back to every one of our customers. We have more than 500 beds, and that's.
Oh, I don't want to hear numbers. I'll be perfectly honest with you, sir. Yes. What I would say, but I didn't get any help. You know what? When I worked at Northern Rock and I was doing sales, you always remember. You always say that.
When you were here, we had a lot of misunderstandings. I remember that some of my colleagues may have had some problems explaining what they wanted to tell you.
But there's no need to scream at me, sir.
2 months later, and I cannot change anything about the reply our manager gave you, but he gave you a reply. And
well, can you get him to call me? Is he man enough to call me?
If that's not satisfying for you, I cannot change that.
Right. So I'm asking you to get him to call me.
Sorry?
I want the manager to call me. That email
but
is.
He cannot call you. He's not here.
Okay. So when is he back?
He will be here like on the 20th.
On the 20th of December.
Sorry?
On the 20th of December.
Yes, right.
Okay, so I'll give you my number.
I have the phone number I have here on my phone right now.
No, that's not my phone number. I'm having to call from someone else's phone. Yeah, I gave you my number, but I'll give it to you again.
I would rather give you maybe.
I don't have the capacity. I don't have the capacity. No. I don't.
Have you got a German phone number?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, then I will just write that down.
I just find it amazing that I spent all that money, but if I don't have a German phone, it's gonna cost too much to call me back. Remember, I'm a member of your youth hostel. Remember the whole chain. I'm not some kind of bum. So my number is 01521 723 02 30. Yeah.
All right, and I would just need your last name again. Sorry.
Fraser. So can I just ask one question? Is your manager obviously seems to be out of that youth hostel vast amounts of time, like for long periods?
Yeah.
You obviously have an assistant manager, because I spoke to her, right? Normally when a manager of any establishment, whether it be a hostel, a bank, or whatever, is not there,
she is also busy at the moment, and I cannot connect you to her, but I can also give the information to her.
When is she available?
Maybe sometime today, but she is really busy today because we are having updates and everything. So I cannot promise you that she can call you today.
You haven't
but
been able to
maybe
promise
tomorrow.
me anything, I'll be honest with you. I was basically assaulted in your hostel, and I want a reason why.
Not in our hostel.
But how do
No.
you know? How do you know that?
Because I've been here the whole time you stayed here.
No, you weren't.
I were.
Right.
I was the one who went up to your room and got your medicine down
Right.
here.
So were you following me 24/7 in the hostel? Were you walking everywhere I was walking?
I will give your phone number to our assistant manager, and she will call you, or our manager himself. If his answer wasn't satisfying for you,
It wasn't an answer. You guys were messing me around. I stayed in other youth hostels. I've never had this behavior from any staff before other than yours.
then that's all right.
That's all right?
So, Mr. Fraser, here's the reception speaking with you. Can we give the telephone number to our manager? Then he is coming back. Then maybe he will call you, maybe not. But now, please
Maybe
stop
not.
contacting us. Yeah? Yeah,
Stop
we will tell
contacting
him-
you.
Yeah, no, it's finished now. Please. Please.
Why
Yeah?
can't you...
We give the telephone number to our boss, and he will contact you. Yeah?
All
And
I'm
then
asking
please
for is
stop.
why I was treated like
Please
that.
stop talking to us.
Stop talking
Yeah?
to you.
Yeah, because our manager will